Hello, IEJ76 Ian here, and this is round 15 of AOR Tier F8 for F1 2017. We're at the Malaysia Grand Prix in Sepang, qualified a disappointing 16th. We have got a full grid though, so 20 drivers in this race. My last lap I mucked up completely, did a half spin. In truth, I probably would have got 12th or 13th maximum. On pole is Denzamo, alongside him is the championship leader Washi. And we are starting in dry conditions, but we're expecting some rain around the mid to latter part of the race. So 5 lights coming on. Jerry Force, a new driver from Sweden, is behind us. Ahead is Lamaro in the Sauber, and we get a pretty even start compared with our competitors. And I'd already decided before the race, if at all possible, I was going to try and go around the outside into this interesting first corner, because you can gain some spots here, but I run a bit too wide. As you can see, there's cars everywhere anyway. Lots of bumpy and boring. Washi unfortunately gets pushed off and then hits a car as he comes back on. Lots of light taps all over the place. We managed to get through that as Jason smashes one of the marker boards, and we get a run on him for 14th. And I'm going to brake pretty late compared with the guys in front, but Jason brakes late as well. 3 cars on the outside, the 2 Saubers collide. I think we're going to get past them both, but Lamaro holds in there in the Sauber. He gets ahead of us, but we run around the outside, which becomes the inside to the right-hander. We cut across the course, and Lamaro is going to get past us. Meanwhile, Danny UK there in the Williams on the left-hand side's gone off, as has Ghost Hunter in the Haas there. We backed out the throttle a little bit too much, so we didn't take advantage of that, but Caddy Damus has got to run us into the hairpin. So we're changing positions, left, right and centre all over the place here. We get a better exit out of the hairpin, so we're back into 13th. Ghost Hunter and Lamaro having a good battle in front. And I already decided that in 2 corners time I was going to try and brake really, really late and try and catch Ghost Hunter by surprise, which I do here. But unfortunately, more than amazing, the new driver just spins us round. And we have ghosted, so I could have tried to rejoin at this point, but I was just worried that the ghosting wouldn't work. Sometimes there's a glitch and I would take somebody out by joining poorly. But oh, what a terrible start. So we're down to 19th place. Danny UK is the only one behind us, but he's not far behind us. And fair play to More Than Amazing, who did apologise after the race. He's there waiting for us to let us through, which is very good of him, because considering we were quite a long way behind at that point. Danny UK gets up the inside of us. So ourselves and More Than Amazing are bringing up the rear at the moment, and I was feeling pretty punchy at this point, so I was determined to try and get through on Danny up the inside, which I do. He runs quite wide, we run a little wide, and that actually allows More Than Amazing to do a great move to take both of us in one go. Right, we fast forward many laps to lap 13. We're in 12th as people start to make pit stops. Nothing happened between that second lap and lap 13, but now we're under some pressure. Caddy Davis is ahead by a couple of seconds. We've got David Ben, who's one of the quick guys, slightly out of position. As you can see, the rain has started to come down, but we're still on the dry tyres, and David Ben is really close to us, and we try and keep to the left hand side here. We brake what's normal for us in these conditions, but it was obviously far too early for David Ben, who's much quicker. And unfortunately, he tapped us, only got yellow wing damage. And More Than Amazing is trying to come to the inside, which he does. And this was a phase of the race where I was really, really struggling. You could see the rain there, and it was quite deceiving. I thought there was more rain coming down onto the track, but actually it was pretty good to almost go full speed on these dry tyres. But I was just way too cautious. Look, people catching me left, right and centre. Secker in the Haas comes up the inside of us into the hairpin, and we're dropping further and further back, and we're down to 14th, and the conditions are getting worse. So another mistake is that I came in for intermediates too early. I think I was fooled by all those cars passing me, thinking I've got to make this move, but really it was probably 2 laps too early. DRS was still enabled, and normally that's the key when it's disabled as the times are coming for the wet tyres. So we go on to the green marked intermediate tyres, and we rejoin down in 16th. So later round on my outlap on these intermediates, and just to prove it's too early, I really struggled to get the car stopped, and Daniel UK, who's still on those mediums behind, so he's on the dry tyres. It shows that the dry tyres are still the tyre to be on as he goes round the outside of us very easily indeed. So forward to lap 19. We're in 14th place on these intermediates, and there's a good battle ahead between Zeke, our teammate in the Renault, and Seka in the Haas. And behind us, right close behind us, is Jason in the Red Bull. So this could become a 4-car battle. So these two are going to go for a drag race down the back straight before the last corner. And Zeke has already made that move. Seka goes very wide to the left-hand side. And we try and brake as late as we dare, and try and feed in the power without getting too much wheel spin. This was actually a phase of the race, although I was well outside the top 10 at this point, that was quite enjoyable. I don't normally like driving in the wet, but I got a reasonably good feeling from these tyres. And Seka is going to run really wide here into turn 1. And Jason is right there to take advantage of any mistake. Now our traction out of here, we're probably a little bit cautious in the upshifts through the gearbox. Seka gets a much better one. Jason is close by but not close enough to strike. And we brake just after the 100-metre board, and Seka runs wide. I was distracted by that somewhat. My own fault, of course, but Jason takes advantage and moves up 2 spots. So lap 24, we're sat in 13th place. All the cars around us on intermediates. Our teammate Zeke, or Zek, I must find out the pronunciation, has had a problem there. So we're going to go by him to gain a spot to 12th. Jason is not far up in front, but the guy in 10th, 10 seconds or so further up the road from him, so it's going to be tricky to get points as Jason comes into the pits. So he may be going onto the blue marked full wet tyres. More Than Amazing's doing that at the moment and is in the pits and is about to come out the pits. Meanwhile, Zek and Noodle Dougal and the McLaren are right with us. And Noodle Dougal's got really good speed on these intermediates at this point. Goes round the outside. We give each other a nice lot of room. And he's through, but I was confident that I could maybe try and get back at him. As we apply the power up through the gears. Great section of this track. I really enjoy this part of the circuit. We think about going up the inside, which we kind of half-heartedly do. Noodle gives us room in case we're there, but he's away and clear. So lap 27, and Noodle Dougal's continue to pull away from us, but this is our focus at the moment, which is our battle with our teammate Zek, who's right in behind us, and he's going to brake nice and late into the last corner on this circuit. But he runs a little bit wide. We come in tighter, we get better traction. So that was a fun retake. So coming through the last part of the last lap, the only good thing that really happened to us in this race is that we, well, 1 didn't crash and 2 we weren't lapped. But we only made 1 pit stop, but we were pretty slow in most conditions, which is disappointing after practicing earlier in the week when I thought it would be one of our stronger tracks. But it's going to be really difficult for us to get in the points much at all if there's going to be a 20-car grid. Some of the new guys that joined us are pretty quick as well. So there's your podium. Denzamo claiming his first win of the season in the Toro Rosso. Really excellent battle in the front positions, the top 5 or 6 all race. James Boniface was second, McQuiz was third. Washi had an eventful race but came through strongly to finish in 5th place, I believe. And there's your final order, and you can see the championship is really tight. McQuiz now 2 points only behind Washi. Denzamo's taken back 3rd place from David Ben. And as for us, well, we're still in 6th there, but I think it's going to be really, really difficult to hold off the likes of Caddy Damus, Honk and Zeke in the final races. Next weekend, it's the Japanese Grand Prix from Suzuka.